Okay, I'm back, bros and brosettes. I sitting in my backyard here. I did a little investigative journalism, as only a 57-year-old white male can do. Uh, Looked like you guys were right that that first test did stick, but my phone said it was like processing. Like I just saw like a fuzzy version of it, and I guess it'll like be uploaded and viewable within an hour or something like that. Who knows? Oh, I'm glad you guys are back. That's good. Um, I think what we should do something. How is the audio? Does the audio feel crisp? Like if I'm way up here, that's too much of my face. I can't stand looking at that. But if I'm trying, okay, the audio is excellent. I just got this new iPhone, man. I've been limping around with this old one for years. Um, it's not the top of the line, but it's pretty close. I want to tell you how much it cost. I don't even remember actually, but I'm already feeling better about the purchase. If the audio is fine, there's a wind chime going behind me. That's kind of an interesting test. Can you hear a wind chime? Yeah, Adrian, I'm an idiot. So I think I got this thing locked. I can't, if I go landscape, orientation is locked, rotate device back. So um, I should know how to get to a land. You can hear the wind chime. Good. Okay. So you're getting a nice view of the power poles, etc. And we've got, I don't know, another 20 minutes of sunlight here on this bronzed skin. Just kidding. Pale as hell. You know, it's been a long winter. We're 47 degrees north of the equator. You know, we don't get a lot of sun, so we gotta. Hey, it's chiming in Louisiana. I'm just about to cancel our trip to New Orleans. My wife and I were going to head down there and spend a few days next week in your fair city, in New Orleans at least, but doesn't seem like a smart move at the moment. So you guys are being very helpful to me to just try to. I'm almost like trying to think of. So that's one thing I can do to try to get landscape if I need that. I've got one of those little doohickeys where you like lock the camera like with a little holder on the edge of a table, so I can kind of get both of my hands freed up. Um, if I write something, if I draw something, can you read it or is it backwards? Let me get a test here. Hang on. This is so bizarre and actually really fun. Uh, all right. So is this backwards or is this, can you read it? There's a right answer and a wrong answer here. You can see it. You can read it. Holy shit. No kidding. It looks backwards to me. You can make your own joke here, I suppose. That's good. Yes. Print looks fine. Rain-X. This episode brought to you by Rain-X. Wipe the dirt away. Okay. Good. Just humor me if you would. Where are you all from? Just can you do a quick little a little report just to get a sense, just for fun. That's not going to really change anything, I guess. You're from Maine, Kelly, Maryland. I'm on the East Coast, Yukon, Oklahoma. I don't have to read these. I guess, can you see? Thank you for chiming in. This is exciting. Can you see all these comments streaming by? I can see them in the lower left part of my screen. India? Hey, man. Hello from Ellensburg, Washington, USA. Oh, you can see the comments. Oh, I can make fun of people in real time. This is, thoroughly inappropriate. Good. Well, now I'm just totally experimenting. So you can see the text. So I'm thinking, I might go to the front porch. I was thinking of doing this. The plan, I posted on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. I posted on Facebook and Instagram and also Twitter this morning and just said, I'm seriously thinking about doing this live deal. And like, what time should I do it? And of course, people in Europe are saying, don't do it so that it's in the middle of the night for me. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know how that's going to work. Let's see if the acoustics. So here I am in the front porch. And thanks for sticking with me, by the way. This is, I guess, pretty unprofessional or whatever. Who cares? How's the audio? Is it super hollow now? I'm kind of in this front enclosed porch. And I have a table that I do my work on anyway, a little echoish. I was kind of worried about that. Hey, how can I get this lock thing off and do it landscape while I'm still on this with you? Mute the microphone, save highlight, share. No real audio difference. That's good. I mean, this is comfortable for me, although, what time is it? This is about the time I was thinking about doing it 6 o'clock Pacific time. We're streaming live right now. Would you like to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
All right. So, you weren't on. Sorry. You are. So these guys, I needed no software at all. So I just literally just hit live and the thing's going. These guys are coming in from all over.
Wow.
And Mrs. Zentner. Hi, Mrs. Zentner.
Hi.
Okay, back. What are you watching?
The Great Pottery Throwdown.
Great Pottery Throwdown, over and out. Okay. So this light is okay. What was I going to do here? Oh, I was trying to get to that landscape thing, because oh shit, you know what I can do? Do you have time? I'm going to get that phone holder thing. And with an iPhone 11, I think that's what I have. Humble brag. Welcome to my bedroom, by the way. How can I switch to a landscape or get the portrait thing unlocked? And do I have to turn off the live stream again to do that? Does he mean a selfie stick? I can hear you, Mark. No, I'll show you what I've got here. I started, ask Siri to do it. Oh, okay. This is literally a phone that's like 3 days old, so haven't even tried that. I've got to start the video on landscape. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Let me show you what I got here. Oh, nothing's going to match this for like initial excitement, I got to say. It's all downhill from here. And super egotistical, I might add. Jasper. Oh, that's a good thing now. All right, so I've got you resting on my backpack. I've got this thing, see, so I'm going to clamp it on this table and put the phone in this deal here. Oh, that's nice, Jason. Yeah. See, now I'm seeing that if it's more than a sentence, your comment kind of fades away. I don't know if I can change that. So I either need to read quickly, which is not my strength. Yeah, okay. So let me just play around with a couple things here. We're up to 43 people. Can you see in the upper left, I've got live, shit, we're almost going 10 minutes already. 45 people have joined us, 16 thumbs up. I got some work to do, man. I got to impress an extra 30 people here in the next few minutes. Just kidding. You don't have to do the thumbs up thing. You see the same things that I do. Now that's very interesting to me. And you can see the scroll comments going up and down. I can only, your comments show up to me and then they kind of scroll up just a little bit. Hi, Steve. And then I can only see like 2 or 3 in a row, I guess, so that I can still see what's going on in the viewfinder. That makes sense. But shit, man, if I have like 300 people here, how am I going to keep up with these comments? Or am I only going to see like, are they going to just fly by so fast I'm not even going to be able to press the V? That's advice I got in high school. All right, so now I'm playing with this holder. Okay. Yeah, Steve, I'm about to send an email about that. Tap and hold my screen, Lynn. Tap, hold. Is this what's that going to do? So this would allow me, so I've got some paper here. When I was literally thinking about bringing a green chalkboard from school and setting it up in the front porch, but I mean, I'd be way too far away for that. Yeah, I know. I got to watch myself, Lynn. I'm gonna alienate some people. Got kind of a acquired sense of humor. Woo! So, I mean, yeah, this is pretty tight, man. If I'm trying to, I definitely do want to do some drawing. How many rattlesnakes do I think I've disturbed? I like to think that I'm one with the rattlesnake community, Jason, and I don't disturb them at all. In fact, they just give me a little notice that I'm getting a little too close, and then I'm the one that goes away, Jason. So is that disturbing? I guess it is, but yeah, that's part of life out here. And a lot of people say, I love the programs, I love these places you're talking about, but there's no way that I would go out there after May 1st because I don't want to run into one of those rattlesnakes. They'll chase me down and everything else. Well, doesn't work that way, but I'm no biologist. I do need a clipboard. So you're telling me you can read that, huh? Now people are walking by the house and they are confused. Okay, good. Yes, help me, right. It's a cry for help. This whole thing is a cry for help. I'm not getting enough attention and haven't been making enough public appearances lately, so this is, a little window into my, yeah. Okay, thumbs up, Mike. Okay, so I'm thinking as I go. This is very helpful, and I've said that too many times probably. Yeah, big brother, yeah, lay it on me. Question for you, what's the best way amateur geologists can help see, it went away. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. There's gonna be a bunch of great questions, and so for instance, I can only see, how about this? I can only see about 2 comments at a time, and then they scroll up and then they fade away. And truly, if it's more than one line of text, I'm not going to be able to read it fast. Big brother, here's a question for you. What's the best way amateur geologists can help further the field of geology? Amateur geologists. I'll tell you a story. So, content time. Open up your laptop and watch the text there. Ooh, now see, that's the problem. I started with my laptop and I actually watched a YouTube tutorial on how to live stream on YouTube with my laptop. And the guy says, you need like letters or something. So I had to download some software and set the settings correctly. Then I had to go back. I had to put the live feed code back into YouTube and then go back and forth between YouTube streaming and then this program. But I'm starting to think, since this was so easy, that maybe the camera and the microphone are good enough on my laptop that would be the way to go. because I could, I guess, see more of the comments. Oh, are you saying at the same time? Oh shit, man, yeah, maybe that would work. Like, what if I open my laptop right now and get on this channel? Can I, like, keep an eye on the comments, or I'd need to, like, hire a neighborhood kid to be the moderator? Exactly, yes. Light bulb. This guy's, I thought he was bright. Apparently he's not. He's a little dim. Nick, yeah. I'm a distracted teenager. I'm excited. What can you say? I'm discovering things for the first time. Do you remember that feeling back in the day? Discovering things for the first time? I got to keep track of what I'm saying here, right? Because unless I delete this recorded video, it's here for God and everybody, for my mother to watch later on tonight. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go get my laptop right now. Charles, yeah. Hey, would you mind? Do you need something to look at while I'm gone? The cat's outside playing. What else would I give you? I can. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm gonna go get my laptop, and this is all in the neighborhood of testing, right? When I'm going to announce, I'm excited enough where I think again, if the audio and the video are strong here, it appears that they are, like almost professional quality, which is ridiculous, where you just buy this phone and this comes with this sort of thing. That's a good point. Bijou can do a lot of things. Oh, bring in some rocks? You're right. I am a distracted teenager right now. I'm going to go get the laptop. Hang on. I'll be right back. Go get some popcorn or something. It's the golden hour. We live in a beautiful valley, and the ridge to the south of us still has a little bit of snow on it. And, we're all out just taking our walks, and we live in an area, probably shouldn't give the address, but whatever, where there's a lot of people walking by. It's an old-timey neighborhood feel. And especially this last couple hours of the day are very nice to see visitors, see friends and neighbors strolling by. I'm not a very good small talker, but my wife is. And we do a fair amount of yard work and things, especially my wife. So if they get into giving us advice on what we should do with our yard, I kind of tell them to, have a good day, keep walking. So I feel like I should be out here with the beautiful conditions. But again, I want to try this laptop. That was a great idea. Where 73 people said, open up a laptop at the same time, and I didn't get it for a couple days. Good question. Am I on Wi-Fi right now, or am I burning through a bunch of data? Doesn't matter. You're worth it. So yeah, we've already lost the light. Gosh, maybe I should do 5 p.m. Pacific time. Getting an evil eye from the wife, so I better keep it quiet. All right. So I'm putting you back in the cradle. That's what I'll call this thing. The cradle. You might get motion sickness walking towards this. Walk toward my house. Oh, the Wi-Fi is pretty good, if that's what you mean. We got pretty good coverage. It's probably not what you mean. Hey, I'm an employee of the state. I'm happy to do this. I'm not in this for any cash. All right, now this is a treat for you. sit and watch a YouTube live stream of an older gentleman trying to find the same YouTube channel on his laptop. This is a big day for you. He's not like I thought he was. I thought he would be more... Oh, shit, yeah. I got YouTube emails. I guess I subscribed to my own channel. I got Nick Zentner is live now, Geology live stream test 1 at 5:47 p.m. Pacific time. And I got another I got another email from YouTube when the second test began on 5:58. Very interesting. I don't know how many subscribers I have. All right. So I would love to just have you speak to me as I'm looking at this laptop screen, but I don't think that's an option. And if it is, I don't want to go there and hear all your voices. No offense. All right, so I'm automatically, so I have different YouTube channels, too much TMI. So for some reason, I'm already switched over to this account. That's good. Oh wait, but I don't follow myself. Shit, I gotta subscribe to myself on this channel. This is, okay. Nick Zentner live streaming from his, this is so bizarre. Oh, there's a delay. 5-second delay in case I have a nipple thing or something. 5-second delay in case I have a nipple thing or something. 5-second delay in case I have a nipple. Interesting. Why did the chicken cross the road? Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Good stuff. All right. Oh, I'm going to give this a thumbs up. This guy's amazing. New, easier moderation. Press the Alt key to pause the chat and then point to a message to delete it, block. I don't know what they're talking about. Whoops, F-bomb. Somebody wanted an F-bomb. I think they just got it. Mute the laptop. Yes, sir. Okay, so I'll say got it even though I don't know what the... Okay. You guys are smart. Much smarter than I. Top chat and live chat. If I go live chat, so Big Brother just said nice, and there it is there in real time. Can we do another comment, please, after Big Brother saying nice, and I'll see if I can delete unwanted comments. I want all the comments, even if they're super negative and have you seen some YouTube comments on a few of the things I've done? I'm not too bothered by that. I'm popping out the chat. Dude. And privacy. And I can scroll back. Click your pick on the YouTubes. So now I'm just going back like crazy. I promise, if you tune in tomorrow night, there's going to be none of this bullshit, and there's going to be none of this screwing around, and because kids are going to be watching, I think. Uh-oh, now we got a little. My cradle is wandering or bouncing. Don't want that. Please keep the cuss words. Yeah, man. I don't know. Did I agree that it was going to be clean? I think at some point making some video. Oh, it was the podcast. I had to promise I was clean, and not a very duct tape. Okay, so I think I'm functional enough where I'm confident this is really going to happen. I'm not looking at myself on the laptop. I promise. That would be too much. Again, because I'm 5 seconds behind over there. But we're up to 53 people. So why would we keep adding people? Like if there was just one notification as an email saying I'm live, like how do I find if people are live? I guess if I happen to go to YouTube, see, I'm not a notification guy. I don't have all these dings going off all the time on my phones. And maybe you think that's why people are knowing, that's how you knew to tune in. I'm going to ask it again now that I can see all these comments. So I'm looking here at the big pop-up screen on the laptop of the comments. I'm still just seeing a couple of yours, but here's my question, and I'm just going to mostly read what you say. Adult geology, I agree. Yeah, that would be interesting. Probably not. How did you know to join us? Notification on your phone, email, happen to just be scrolling through your YouTube feed with your subscriptions and you saw that I was live. Are there other options? Checked my subs. So you were kind of on your YouTube feed channel. I like that too. I mostly listen to music, but Chris Thiele live from here, and actually there's a couple gals from the Midwest who do a Sunday morning. I can't remember what her name is, but I really enjoy them. They're younger musicians, and I watched their whole live feed yesterday. I was feeling pretty bummed out, like many of us are, and it was just such a fresh thing to have them perform, and they were looking at their comments and taking requests, and that really is what motivated me to try this. I promised I was going to look at this now. You got live videos pop up in the top of your subscription videos. Yeah, notification. I guess that means on your phone. I happened to see the first live stream. It happened already. Oh, so you already. Oh, so the. Yeah, is that true? I'm sorry, I'm going to read more of your comments here first. Popped up as recommended media because I'm a subscriber. Happened to see you, I guess, in the live feed. Seemed to disappear after some time. Scared me. I guess you can read these as well as I. Always get notifications on channels I've hit the bell on. Yeah, I'm not a bell guy, but I guess a lot of people are. Now, I guess I'm thinking out loud. So I was asking on social media today. I'm getting hot now. Hot flash. That's who I'm married to, by the way. My phone just picked it up. Don't know why. Great. Thank you, Deborah, are you in Ellensburg? So let me get dressed here. So I asked on Facebook, for instance, should I do Facebook Live with the live stream or should I do YouTube? And of course, all the Facebook people said Facebook. I know how to get to Facebook. So I like YouTube. I'm going to definitely do this YouTube thing now that I feel comfortable with it. Hey, Deborah. Former student. You're 3 blocks away, probably. Almost a nipple thing. So true. So I guess what I'm going to do tonight, yeah, I think just when I'm done with you guys, I'm going to go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to Twitter. I think Facebook are mostly old people, and I think Instagram and Twitter are typically under 35. I don't really know if that's true, but it seems like it. And I think I'm going to say 5:30. 5:30, shit, I don't know. Something like that. I think the next 3 nights, I'm going to do like 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. Pacific time. And I guess I'll just give them the link to my YouTube channel or tell them to subscribe. A lot of old people aren't going to know what I'm doing or what I'm talking about, but I think I'm going to ask them to come here since they're not, or maybe ask them to subscribe. Stress that it's free. You don't have to pay to subscribe to a YouTube channel. And then I guess they would get notified, do you think? Or do you select the notification? Do you select the bells? Or I'm going to shut up and I'm going to read your answers. Do you think Facebook people who have never seen a YouTube channel are going to be totally flummoxed by this? And are they going to be able to find this thing at, let's say, 6 p.m. tomorrow night? If I say, go to my YouTube channel, you've got to click the bell on your end to get notified. Okay? So, not sure everybody's going to ring the bell. I might say ring the bell. Yeah, good point. It's so simple on Instagram. That's true, but I don't know. I want this to be viewed afterwards. I'm not sure Instagram does that. I'm pretty sure I want to do YouTube. All they got to do is search Nick Zentner. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the podcast. It's pretty fun, actually. MU, Marquette? MU, Missouri? No. I should know MU, sorry. If it's Marquette, hello from old Badger person. Facebook users can follow the link to your channel. Yeah, I guess the link, would it be a link to the actual live stream that's already happening, or would I just kind of link them to my YouTube channel, I guess? Or just manually say, search my name in YouTube? Shit, can you hear that? Do you have teenagers driving by your house with these mufflers off? Don't get me started. Hey, University of Missouri. All right, man, Austin. Yeah, man. Mizzou. Oh, could be Michigan. Okay. Hello from Sweden. The blonde Viking. That's a nice image. Hello. I've lost how many people. We're up to 63 people, 41 thumbs up. Okay, what am I missing? I really don't think it's smart to plan a bunch of stuff. I don't think it's a live stream, so I don't think, well, I'm torn actually. Part of me says people are going to take the time to tune in, so they want content, and they maybe want like a lecture, like a set of ideas that are planned and drawn out, and I would somehow draw them on a cute little, I don't know, whatever. The other approach is just live Q&A, and I think that's going to be chaotic and maybe not super helpful because I'm not going to see most of the comments. Like right now, you're typing all sorts of, yeah, it is Rihanna Dell said, I didn't think I had ADHD. I guess I do. This is like attention deficit inducing. Like, how could I possibly finish a thought if there's other cool stuff coming in from you? Like, I'm a methodical dude, like everything, and now I'm like, hey, yeah, squirrel. Okay, you didn't hear the loud truck. Hey, how's it going? Yep, live stream. Yeah, I am about to be sucked into the YouTube vortex. Like many things, I need to be measured. So I have learned much from you. I've learned about the audio and video pretty good, if you're willing to look at this. I've learned how easy it is to start a live stream. I thought it was going to be a 12-step process to get everything functioning properly in the stream. I mean, I'm not cutting out or anything, right? There's no bit rate or whatever that's not appropriate. I mean, these phones are amazing. Yeah, the teacher becomes the student. Yeah, you can say that again. Uh, YouTube has a whole section on live streaming and how to promote and link. Yeah, I know, but well, first of all, I'm always careful not to promote myself like some sort of entity. I know that's un-American, but that's not. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I like connecting with people, and I like it to feel pure. And especially the producers of the PBS thing are constantly trying to get me to do stuff, and I'm like, I'm just not that interested in doing that. I know that's where you want to go with all this, but expanding and cross promotions. The philosophy of this is giving attention to detail and information to you directly without you paying anything or feeling like you're being ripped off, man. I don't want that. Um, yeah, I'm no hero, that's for sure. How do I get on the email list? I have an email address, nick@geology.cwu.edu. If you want to email me and get on my email list, um, I'm about to send out an email tomorrow saying everything's postponed for April. But anyway, hopefully things will be back to normal at some point, and you'll get emails about public talks, public field trips, videos being released, that sort of thing. As a viewer, I don't think this is satisfying. That this person who's talking to you is constantly looking over and reading all these comments that you can see. So then he's like reading stuff that you can see on the frickin' screen. He's missing most of them. I'm talking about me now. The guy's gonna like click it off, stop the stream, then go read all this stuff and feel crappy that I missed all the good comments and everything else, like good questions and things that would have really helped. I need an assistant. Yeah. Maybe the cat can, yeah, that's the other thing. I kind of work solo. Well. I need a moderator. Yeah. Two separate live streams, one for content. Oh, I'm overthinking it, Mike. Seriously? Well, you're right in the sense that this is not going to be perfect. I'm trying it for the first time. The conditions worldwide are such that I'm just feeling like this is, especially if I schedule this, there's some kind of structure. I don't know what you're like, but I like a little bit of structure each day. So if I know that 6 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to spend an hour with the dude in Ellensburg, maybe that's helpful to some. Hello from Connecticut. Hello. Jason Patton, I recognize that name. Hello, New England. Must be late there. You pull up a podcast every night. Pretty good to put you to sleep, huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm very, here are the bullet points of tonight. Oh, 6 p.m. is Rachel Maddow. Of course. All right. How about I set the alarm for 2 a.m.? We do this at 2 a.m. So the people in Italy and Spain can get it at a reasonable hour. And then I could learn a new language and teach geology in a new language. Yeah, it's not going to be a perfect thing. Maybe I'll do 5 o'clock. I like this light right now, though. Hey, Jason Patton. Yeah, thanks. I think you're a geologist, aren't you? You're all geologists. That's the fun part about this. That I just recorded a podcast, a self-indulgent podcast. I put it up yesterday, talking about how I got rolling with this outreach thing. I knew there was an audience just from people visiting my office back in the early 90s. But I love the part where people not only kind of have an interest and they feel like they're getting a few new ideas and a few answers to the geology of the Pacific Northwest, but quite a few have taken it to a much deeper level, a much higher bar of commitment, reading your own stuff, thinking about your own ideas. And, not all of us have the same training. But to be totally honest, if you have the basics of scientific thought and the basics of how to approach a field problem, much of this is not rocket science. It involves logic, it involves deductive reasoning, and it involves very careful, thorough work. And that can be done by anybody, and that's why this feels kind of more inclusive than it did a generation ago. Time for the distracted person to look at some comments now. Yeah, I was a visitor in your class a few years ago. My cousin sat in the, oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. It's a new world for sure. Let's do this. We've already been at this for 41 minutes. That's crazy. But the light is so good right now, we can't quit. If you've got a good question, do it in uppercase, please. And I'll try to answer as many uppercase questions as I can, and I'll give it some real thought about the time and the theme for tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. I think we're going to have a theme, so that might help I might have some set things that I want to deliver, and then I'll just try to do the Q&A thing, I guess. All right, so I'm ready for any question you want to ask, and I'll just try this. Is this what they do on Reddit? Some sort of AMA thing or whatever? That's a whole younger crowd yet. Concretions. Tom, they confuse the hell out of me. I never know what to say when somebody brings in a concretion, especially if there's a little shell, marine shell in the middle of the concretion. I have no idea how the frick that works, and it ticks me off. Next question. Another concretions. Ditto. Are you thinking Basin Range has more to do with Washington Basaltic Province than before? Interesting question. The Basin Range, I learned back in the 1980s, is this area of North America that has doubled in width in the last 15 million years, 20 million years, let's say. The distance between Reno and Salt Lake City has doubled. That's how much extension there's been. The question is, what's driving the extension of the Basin and Range? Most now think it's the clockwise rotation of the Pacific Northwest being driven away from the Rocky Mountains, and therefore you actively open the Basin and Range like an accordion. There's a few that still think the East Pacific Rise being slipped beneath North America is actively driving that extension onward. LOL, that's not a question, Tom. What about emailing out live stream notifications? I think YouTube automatically does that. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get an email. Apparently I did, and I'm not even sure I'm subscribed to my own. I guess I must be. Do you plan on doing more West Side stuff? Yes, not this year. I've got these 4 downtown lectures pretty much ready to go. They're all east of the Cascades. Sorry, I think. Is that true? Oh, I'm in a Cascades thing. But for next spring, God willing, I want to talk about the Puget Lowland. I want to talk about the ice stuff going on with the Puget Lowland and some of the Ice Age floods that came down the Chehalis. And there's a few other ideas tied to that. So Puget Lowland glaciation stuff. And I think I'm also doing an Ice Age volcanoes lecture next year. That interests me, those cinder cones. What are the major geologic differences between the Cascade Range and the Rockies in Idaho and Montana? Off the top of my head, the Cascades have 40 million years of volcanic history, mostly stratovolcano eruptions based on subduction of an oceanic plate, but there's also some more felsic and more mafic volcanism in the Cascades. Generally, the Rockies in Idaho and Montana are older and not volcanic at all. And most of the uplift in the Idaho and Montana Rockies happened between 90 and 30 million years ago, which predates the Cascades. And there is still, in 2020, pretty significant debate about why that uplift happened so far east, away from the active plate boundary. Get your money's worth, huh? Does that have an effect on the Yellowstone hotspot? I'm not sure what you're asking, but the Yellowstone hotspot is one of those things that I feel is more and more significant to much of the American West than we originally thought. And if you've followed some of my recent lectures, you've seen me keep coming back to the Yellowstone hotspot for various reasons. Top 3 mistakes made at field camp. Interesting. Field camp. Being paralyzed by detail, and when you're mapping in a particular area, not leaving the area if you get confused. My advice has always been, when students about to cry or actually crying, literally crying at the outcrop with their map partner, I say, you're confused, you don't know what to put on your map, get the hell out of here. Go back to an area that you think you have well mapped. You know the strike and dip, you know the structure, you have a basic idea of the mapping units. Keep going to the areas that you know well, you feel comfortable with, you know what's going on, and then you can come back to these swampy areas that are confusing, and you'll have more confidence and more experience to put that together. Don't overthink it, and don't crumble like this little saltine that you are right now. That's my version of a pep talk / abuse of students. Also, being a good team player is not easy for everyone. So work on your social abilities with different kinds of people that you are paired with. Usually we assign students to work with on purpose. Sometimes they're married now. Matchmaker, matchmaker. Anything about Flaming Geyser? Sorry, don't know a thing. Potholes, Whidbey Island. Are there potholes on Whidbey Island? I did not know. If you mean kettles, where there were icebergs that were stuck in the glacial drift, then I would have something to say. But if there's truly potholes, I don't know. Thanks for the uppercase. I'm ignoring the lowercase stuff, sorry. YouTube notifications are spotty. Oh wait, that just went away, hang on. That was not even uppercase. I think beyond them for notifications. Oh, really? Not everybody gets, if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you don't think everybody gets the same email that I got? There's even I get YouTube, there's a big red dot in the subject line of the email indicating there's a live stream happening now. Seems pretty good to me. Why would those be spotty? Could the stutter in the clockwise rotation be caused by pieces of stuck Silesia? Nobody really knows. I think you're talking about these slow earthquakes every 14 months, which continue, by the way. It's so regular that it doesn't seem like we can just tie it to stuck pieces of Silesia. It's an interesting thought. Never thought of that before, Lynn. But instead, it's so regular. We've got more than a decade now of this regular 14 months and then 2 weeks of weirdness and then 14 months of normal and then 2 weeks of back. I did a lecture on that long ago. Probably will revisit it, but I don't think we've made much progress with the understanding of why. Are there any similarities between volcanoes in New England and the Pacific Northwest? Yes. Well, you don't mean volcanoes today in New England, do you? I think what you're meaning is that there used to be volcanoes in New England when North America was drifting east and there was subduction along the east coast as Pangea was, as we were heading towards a formation of Pangea. And in that sense, yeah, those are stratovolcanoes, and those silica contents are very similar to the silica contents in today's Cascades, where North America, of course, is drifting west, and we have subduction of the Juan de Fuca plate today. Other than that, I don't know the details of the igneous rocks in New England very well, but I love visiting there. Oh, now, you guys talking to each other now? How's it going? Hey, big brother. Class on mapping, reading them and making them. Yeah, well, I only know how to teach field geology with paper topographic maps, Brunton compasses, locating yourself using triangulation, the whole thing, you know? I mean, it's an ancient approach. And I stopped teaching our regular field course about 10 years ago because I could feel things slipping away. And what I mean by that is there are exciting new techniques, much more precise techniques for plotting information. And I was just out with a geologic field mapper that is brand new. He's in his 30s. He lives in Ellensburg now and has just an office down the hall from me. And I went out with him and he was teaching me how he uses his handheld GPS, plots his stuff digitally, and I felt very old, but at the same time, it was very exciting to learn the new stuff. So my days of teaching field camp are over. Boo-hoo. If the basalts are 5 miles thick around the Tri-Cities before the flows, was it all ocean then? I think you're talking about the Columbia River basalts. The flood basalts I refer to as a German chocolate cake. At the Tri-Cities, the German chocolate cake, the massive stack of flood basalts are thicker than... I'm stealing all the good stuff from tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be volcanoes. What the hell? 3 miles is the maximum thickness, not 5, first of all. Don't want to be a one-upper, but I guess I am. And we know that from drilling. The oil and natural gas boys were back here from Shell Oil back in the 80s, and they drilled all the way through 3 miles of basalt to finally get into the sandstones and shales that are below. There were some natural gas plays down there, but they were so far from the surface that it wasn't economical for them at the time. Maybe it will be at some point. But your question is, does that mean there was ocean when those flood basalts began 16.7 million years ago? For sure, no. We have most of Washington built by that time. So the true west coast of Washington, when these flood basalts began in the Tri-Cities, is pretty much where the coastline is now, for sure. People are yelling at me now from the street. I'm going to ignore that they're yelling. It was a kettle on Whidbey Island. That's good. Dragon formation still a mystery. Yeah, pretty much is, man. Or ma'am. I've got a new set of maps and reports that I'm working with involving. I did a podcast on this recently, and the name of the episode was Teanaway Rhyolite, question mark. The old story that I actually gave with a YouTube lecture 5 years ago or more, said that the blue agates were formed in the vesicles of the Teanaway basalt. It's now pretty clear that the best blue agates are forming in rhyolite, brecciated rhyolite. That's probably a much younger rhyolite, maybe in the neighborhood of 24 million years old instead of 49. So there's going to be a major change in how we try to how I try to tell the story of the Ellensburg Blue Agate Formation. But that's just the host rock. It's still, I'm not up on my chemistry enough to really be able to, and physics, enough to really probably give a satisfying answer. But I do have a new story in the works. I just gave it in my 101 class on Thursday of last week, the last day that we actually had class with people in the room. And we had a bunch of old timers in the room. They had their pockets full of all sorts of stuff. You know, it was fun. It's fun to have them there. I'm scrolling off the whatever. Are we losing steam? I don't see any more uppercase, but I'm going to read a few more comments and then I'll tell you what, we'll go till an even hour. How about that? I got 5 minutes left. I can have bells turned on, but have app notifications off. Maybe that's clear. I don't want YouTube notifications at 3 a.m. Me neither. I agree. So I keep notifications from the app off. Yeah, I think I guess I'll learn and see if there's a bunch of interested people tomorrow night who know the time that I'm going to start this thing. And I hear from them later, like, I couldn't find you. or I thought I had my notification set up and I didn't. But there's 76 of you or whatever that knew about this, that got notified. I'm hearing most of you, it's bells and whistles. Um, yeah, but I'm going to learn as we go. But I'm going to be pretty determined tomorrow night to just go right into the content. I feel like anytime I give a pub talk, I want to get rid of the superfluous stuff. No long introduction, please. No other comments of business or whatever else the organization is. People came to learn about geology, and we're going to get right to it. So I might make a couple of cute little comments before we get rolling, but for the most part, I want to deliver tomorrow night. And this has been my excuse tonight with you guys to screw around. I'll probably be a little bit more serious, although who knows. I might have a big candy apple or something while we're talking tomorrow night. Oh, the sun just went over the ridge, just disappeared. So this is probably a good time to start winding it up. The Great Blade by Lenore Caves. Yeah, Jason. Ice Age floods. That's a whole nother theme. I'm thinking we'll do volcanoes tomorrow night, earthquakes Wednesday night, and Ice Age floods Thursday night. Those are 3 topics that are in my wheelhouse for sure. And the Great Blade is one of the most exciting places in the channeled scablands. The short thing I can comment on right now is J. Harlan Bretz back in the 1920s studied that Great Blade area very carefully and determined that there was a river canyon. This was new to me till this spring. There was a river canyon just east of the Great Blade before the Ice Age floods carved the Upper Grand Coulee and the Lower Grand Coulee. And so instead of the Grand Coulee itself as being the former V-shaped valley, there's a bunch of specific geometries that Brett used to put that former Paleo River channel just east of the Great Blade, and then massive destruction with the Ice Age floods coming through and wiping out that old drainage and creating the Grand Coulee, not exactly in the same location of that old Paleo channel. Kind of cool. So you can still have the hanging valleys, you can still have that floods drainage, but not exactly lined up with the guts of the Grand Coulee itself. 2 more. 82 are watching. 83. My mother's probably watching now. Not true. What is the Ellensburg hole? Mel's Hole. Google it. Art Bell, late night radio, a precursor in the early 90s to alternate facts and people's own versions of truth that we have now. It's ahead of its time. There is no Mel's Hole. It's a bottomless pit. Give me a frickin' break. Can you recommend a geologist who does talk like you, but in the... I'll take the spirit of your question, Miss Koff. What I do, I don't know of anybody else doing what I'm doing. And there's a number of reasons for that. The main reason is the world of higher education does not recognize these kinds of efforts. I'm not saying I'm a hero. I'm just saying that you need a very unusual situation to have somebody spend a lot of time doing this kind of grassroots stuff and plugging in directly with an audience. Yes, there's public talks on occasion, and you can kind of add it to your resume, but to get tenure, to play the game, to research and do other things, this gets lost in the shuffle, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way the system has been for more than a century. So why do I do it? I felt guilty that I wasn't giving good people good answers when they visited my office. And I did a TED Talk on it a couple of years ago, if you're interested in that. And I stopped at a master's degree. So I don't have tenure. I decided to get off of that train and not play that board game of high stakes poker with research and everything else, even though everybody else I work with is in that game. So I kind of made my own board game, wrote my own rules, and it's been very rewarding to do it the way that I want to do it. I didn't really ask anybody any permission to do it. I just started doing it. And it's super satisfying, especially in moments like right now. That's a great way to end it. The sun has set over Menashtash Ridge, southwest of this house in downtown Ellensburg, Washington, perched on Craig's Hill. And here we are at the hour mark, and I thank you so much for coming tonight and helping me test this out. And still not sure if I'm doing 5 o'clock, 5:30, or 6, but I think I'm going to do one of those times, and I'll stick with that time for the next 3 nights. Hope to see you tomorrow night. And the older gentleman reaches for the white X in the upper right-hand margin of his iPhone 11. Good night from Ellensburg, Washington. I love you.